An interesting Facebook post by you last evening referring to yesterday.
We're starting there.
referring to yesterday's meeting.
You're presuming that that's what it's referring to. This is on my personal page, so don't everybody go looking all at once.
Your frustration was obvious. And tell us what happened. On the big deal yesterday was the scheduled vote for the pay raise for Shreveport policemen and Shreveport firemen. What happened yesterday?
I would like to encourage any listener who really wants to see what happens to go watch it for themselves rather than me even attempt to editorialize it. Because what it looked like to me, and now I'm going to editorialize it, was like a group project where everyone decided to come make up all of their excuses and didn't get their story straight beforehand on why they didn't participate.
But it ended up being postponed, put on the back burner, and this was something that has been important to you for some time. Hence,
I'm the one person that voted against the postponement. It wasn't unanimous, by the way.
It was a 6-1, right?
Correct. That's it.
What was it that happened yesterday that convinced?
I mean, I
that
think
convinced
that it's
six. Hang on, just a second. That convinced 6 of the 7 city council members to postpone the vote on the raises.
A clown car. There was a lot of back and forth discussion and finger pointing, and ultimately, the last several months of discussion just weren't enough for us to actually take this seriously. You either vote it up or vote it down. I guess there was some confusion because a new amendment to the fire piece was up, and that kind of threw some people for a loop, and we determined that we needed to review that particular proposal more before moving forward. And at that point, everyone started asking if we could try to sit down again with the administration and start over from scratch, I guess.
So when we're at this point of the meeting, are you at your frustrated best yet?
I don't even know if I can say that my frustration was about the particular conversation as much as the way it was happening. That was yesterday. We're here today, and I think that what your listeners should want to know is how much more blood has to be in the streets before we decide that we need to do something different. How many more officers and firefighters need to leave before we decide we need to do something different? The responsibility is not on them to stay in a job that doesn't pay for the hazards they put themselves through when other municipalities are clamoring for them to come. The quality of life is already where it needs to be without any intervention from them. It is incumbent upon leadership to have a plan. Ask us, where is the plan, Robert? I implore your listeners to ask, where is the plan? Because they're tired of hearing on the Broadmoor page about burglaries and asking, where are the patrol units? The patrol units have moved to Garland. They've moved to Bossier. They've moved to the Bossier Sheriff's Department 2 just last week. They're moving to Rock Ridge. They're moving to Plano. That's where your patrol officers are.
So what's the plan from here? It's on the back burner. It's postponed. When's it get picked up?
You know what? I don't know. For me, I'm back to what I was just saying. If this administration leadership, if my colleagues want to see a safer Shreveport, it's not just a matter of how you respond to crime, but that's one thing that we have control over is being able to retain our officers in our fire department.
If I had asked you at the beginning of yesterday's meeting, what are the odds that this passes? 4-3, 5-2. Everybody thought it was a done deal. Did you think it was a done deal too?
I told a news station we just have to wait and see. I never go in confident of what to expect ever. Even if everybody promises me, pinky swears on a blood oath that they're going to do something, I never actually expect it to go that way until it's done.
What does Levette Fuller do now to bring this back?
I don't know that it's incumbent. I feel like I've done enough, Robert. I think that now, based on what was said yesterday about wanting the administration to take a stab at it, wanting everyone to come to the table and come up with a way that we can move forward that everyone feels that they can agree to, that no one's afraid of having an up or down vote on, because they know that they'll be accountable back to the constituents in the department as a whole for how they vote. I think it's time for everybody else to get right with Jesus and decide what they want to do.
So you kind of saying,
but again,
Grayson, you handle it. John, you handle it. James, you handle it. Mr. Mayor, you take care of this. What are you telling us?
No. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. What they said yesterday is that that's what they wanted to do. So I'll wait on those calls. I'll wait on those emails for those meetings to get scheduled, and we'll see what kind of product we come up with after the election.